The team started in 2001, known at the time as the Lynx Pair, and have been the first official Royal Navy flying display team since the Sharks disbanded with their Gazelles back in the mid-90s. Winning several awards over the years, the Black Cats are requested to display all over the UK and at many European air shows. The aircrew and engineers are all volunteers from 825 Naval Air Squadron and the Lynx Wildcat Maritime Force based at RNAS Yeovilton in Somerset. So it's all crossing wingovers out to the north, and they're heading back into show centre for another crossover. The team being led for 2025 by Lieutenant Tom Pethick, and the number 2 is Lieutenant Commander Gary McCall. Both now coming to a so-called fast stop, doing so in line abreast at display centre, and they're going to be spot turning through 90 degrees to face each other. Wildcat replaced the Lynx HMA-8 in Royal Navy service. It used to be referred to as the Lynx Wildcat because of the rather superficial similarity between the two machines. It was a development of the Lynx in some respects, but in reality it's a wholly new helicopter, now referred to solely as the Wildcat. It did service both with the Royal Navy, as we see here, and with the Army Air Corps as the Wildcat AH-1. So a climbing carousel through 450 degrees to finish up at 500 feet. They're allowed to perform to a minimum of 1 rotor diameter spacing between the two helicopters, and I'd say it's about that mark.
It looks about 1.5. It's very close. It must look even closer when you're facing each other like that.
And they're going to be, as we see, spot turning again through 90 degrees and performing nose overs to roll out at about 100 feet.
So the Wildcat can be produced as a new build airframe, or a Lynx or Super Lynx can be used as a donor airframe to lower costs, with the Wildcat sharing roughly 5% of its parts in common. In addition to the UK, the type is also flown by the Republic of Korea Navy and the Philippine Navy. The UK ordered 34 Wildcats for the Army and 28 for the Royal Navy to replace the Lynx in service with both arms. The Army variant is known as the Wildcat AH-1 or Attack Helicopter 1 and is primarily used for battlefield reconnaissance and transport. The naval version, the HMA-2, is Helicopter Maritime Attack 2, is used for transport roles but also primarily for the anti-surface warfare role when operating from other naval vessels.
And those vessels can of course include the 2 Queen Elizabeth class aircraft carriers,
Absolutely,
Queen Elizabeth and the new flagship, the Prince of Wales.
With those being at the top end, where they're likely to see more than one HMA-2 on board, but also the smaller frigate size, so all sorts of types where there would be one HMA-2 on board throughout the entire cruise.
Yes, the Lynx was always the small ship helicopter of the Royal Navy, and the Wildcat has taken over absolutely from that. Back into line abreast then, and they're going to be performing a rearwards transition into a coordinated bow. Good chance here perhaps to see the sensors mounted on the noses of the 2 Wildcats. It's the Westcam MX-15 electro-optical device which enables the pilot to target objectives at quite significant ranges. Of course, it's normal weather and day and night capability as well. include the Stingray torpedo, the 12.7mm caliber M3M machine gun, which is mounted in the cabin doors, and the Martlet and the Sea Venom missiles.
That night capability is through the provision of a sea scanning radar. Wildcat HMS2 also carries, as Ben has said, a big mix of short and heavier range missiles in the anti-shipping role, but it is also interoperable, and it was proven in September 2022 when a maritime Wildcat laser designated a target, which was subsequently attacked by a Royal Air Force Typhoon with a paved way 4 bomb.
I wonder whether a Royal Navy helicopter had ever done that before. I'm not sure.
Unlikely. I think that sort of buddy spiking thing was really only developed for Gulf War I, where the Buccaneers spiked for the Tornadoes.
So, running back in towards us, and they're going to be accelerating in, ready for a crossing break, which concludes the display by the 2025 Royal Navy Black Cats. Now, as they position for landing mark, we have a couple of quick farewells from the air tattoo to note. One of them we marked yesterday with a presentation in front of us here at the commentary point, because this is the final RIAT at which that legendary aviation photojournalist Peter March will be a volunteer. He's performed many roles, including managing the photographic team and editing the programme, as well as practical PR in the past. Peter, you'll be very sorely missed. Farewell once again from all of us. And the other farewell, though like Peter we very much hope we'll see him at the show in future, is that of our chief executive, Paul Atherton, who's made a tremendous contribution to the event over these past few years. He's an absolutely top chap, and he has a very distinguished RAF career behind as well.
Absolutely, totally.